Not many good ones, eh?
That's it, mate. Yeah. That's why we'll probably never have a Disney or a Universal Studios here, because we haven't got the population to maintain it.
That's right.
And when you open it, it just stinks. It stinks. It's quite an honour to be selected.
Right.
But then you have to come up with the goods.
Excellent. Today, our guest is an iconic scenic artist living on the Gold Coast. He's been working here for many years. He's done over 30 years of in the industry. He's a lovable rogue. And please meet Norman Weise, aka Buster. Hey, Buster.
Hi, hello, Dave. Nice to meet you, mate. Fancy getting from there.
That's great, mate. Good.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, I'm so happy you could be here.
Yeah.
So I want to know, where did the name Buster come from?
I thought that might come up. When I was born, I was in the hospital in Papua New Guinea, and my mother's name is Norma Joan, her father's name was Norman, and Mum wanted to call me John Norman.
Not Blondie.
No, just
John Norman.
John Norman, yeah. And they were arguing and discussing it, and the nurse came in, had a look at me and went, "That's a Buster."
Isn't that nice? And it's
What chance do you stand?
wow, isn't that great?
Yeah.
So I mean, okay, so that leads me to, so where were you born?
Papua New Guinea, Port Moresby.
Papua New Guinea. Wow.
Yeah.
And you can't play rugby for them, or?
Yeah, I can.
You
I
can.
could have. Yeah.
Papua New Guinea. Okay.
Yeah, Port Moresby. My mother was the personal assistant to Michael Somare, the first Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea.
Oh, wow. You've got connections.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they're in Papua New Guinea.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and then I went to boarding school after that, and then eventually...
So, firstly, so how old are you? You're in the mid-60s, is that right?
64.
64,
Yeah.
okay. So you're born in Papua New Guinea, and so when did you come to Australia?
Well, when they got independence, Mum and Dad, they had a year hiatus, basically. Come and find a place and everything, because then the government gives them a payout.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
golden handshake. So...
What, with a house or land, or?
No, they give them $100,000.
Oh, gee, that's good.
Back in those days, yeah.
That's
Huge.
close to $1 million, isn't it?
Yeah,
Oh,
now close to,
500,000. So, but your parents are not Papua New Guinean?
No, they were up there as Australian expats after the war.
Oh, man, that's...
Yeah, they both
I see.
Yeah, they both served in the army.
That's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah, that was interesting childhood.
Yeah, right. What age did you move to Australia? Did you go to school in Papua New Guinea?
I went to primary school in Papua New Guinea, but secondary school I went to boarding school at De La Salle in Scarborough.
I'm not familiar.
Yeah, it's a college, a boarding college, or a day college.
Okay.
In Scarborough Beach.
Is that in Papua New Guinea? Or
No, that's at Brisbane, north of Brisbane.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So...
And then we moved to the coast from there.
So you got here when you were like in 10 or something, was it?
Grade 10, yeah.
Grade 10,
after
about
grade
13,
10.
14,
Yeah.
15.
15 maybe, yeah.
Okay. Describe, what's the fundamental role of a scenic artist / art director? Well, let's start at scenic artist.
Yeah, well it's basically they have sets, make sets for films or whatever. They start off in theatre, but you have to direct people of what to do, how to do it, give them, you know, colour call-outs, samples, and breakdowns, and then 9 times out of 10 you've got to get in and paint it yourself too with the guys.
That's right.
Yeah, it's just showing people techniques and that of what you've learned over the years and mediums that are coming through these days.
Right.
Because these days it's ever changing because of the mediums, but to get that basic knowledge, you know, it's like, so you try to impart that of the materials, what's in them, how they bond with other materials, so the chemical links.
Yeah, so
yeah.
Because that all relates to time in getting a job done. Is that right?
Yeah, and also...
And budget?
Well,
Is that right?
Always budget. Yeah. What budget?
Right.
Yeah. But, it's basically so you know what can connect, what binds, say...
I see.
Yeah, the chemical. Yeah, so that's, yeah.
Okay, that's good. So just give us a quick background of some of the things you mentioned, film, TV, what other industries have you worked in?
Yeah, theatre.
Sorry, you mentioned theatre. Yeah.
Did a lot of private commissions before, sort of in the movie industry for murals in people's houses.
Right.
Did some, worked overseas in some palaces and things like that, so doing murals and wall finishes and all that sort of thing.
Wow.
It was, it was great to cover this spectrum.
You see the young guys think they know everything?
No, right? yeah. That's not how you do it.
Yeah, right.
Because the thing is, you have to look at something and be able to copy that or make it look like the reference.
Right.
There's not just one way to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to have your bag of techniques there.
Yep.
Go, okay, I'll start with this one. I'll start with this one. And you can mix it. And as I say, if you know your chemical compounds, you can mix other mediums with each other that are not necessarily water-based, but are chemical-based or, botanic.
Yeah.
So it's just knowing the hooks. Yeah.
So you don't want to put acrylics on top of enamel? Unless you're looking for a cis-age look.
Yeah, exactly. Gotcha. Yeah, that sort of thing. It's it's a shame. They've got to just start listening and learning,
Okay, so that's the scenic art role. What about like art? So, and similar to art direction, right?
Yeah.
Basically.
Well,
so your role, is it like you involve yourself with a designer who has an idea or something?
Yeah, well, with art direction, I mainly do the art direction in theme parks, like with Disney and Universal and a few other companies. But that's more permanent.
Gotcha.
So like it's got to stay there. So you have to deal with the engineers, you have to deal with construction, you have to deal with everything, and sign it off, and go to the different factories and.
It's more of a long-term thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's
because you've got public safety.
And if you don't, like regulate that, it's you that cops it.
Yeah.
If something goes wrong, it's
Wow.
you've got to take the brunt. So there's a lot to it. Whereas in film, you basically go and you tell people what the designer wants.
Okay.
Yeah, theme parks, you have to deal with everyone type thing.
Gotcha. Well, that's a good brief analysis.
Yeah,
so that's great.
I mean, you could go on forever with it,
Okay, but
and
we won't.
Bitches and whinges.
That's right. Oh, that's fantastic. Fascinating. Did you do art at school?
I didn't at school because we didn't have it, but my father was a great watercolour artist for figures. He was a figurative artist. And I remember as a young child, one of the nights of the week, he'd go away and come back and bring this magnificent pad, leather enclosed pad, lock, all the thing, embossed the leather. Wow. And I opened it, when he'd come back, I'd open it just to smell the watercolour paper.
Oh, right.
And there'd be his figures, and I said, I want to do that. I want to be able to do it.
And of course, it was the hardest really. Watercolour is probably the hardest one you ever go for.
You can't go back.
Oh, that's nice.
But so that's where I got the interest in it, and I've just always done it. It started at a young age on the coast doing murals professionally. Wasn't very good at it. but something inside me told me I can do this. Like, I want to do it, and I can do it.
Oh, nice.
So, and that's through all the different areas of it. You know, it's got into this sign writing as well, screen printing, everything, and it's all accumulates. If you know these things, then you can go deeper into, and it opens your horizons of techniques you can use.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of the young people have got to learn these days. It's like,
well, I mean, and they've got to know who can do it.
yeah,
Like yourself, you know,
yeah,
so.
well, that's right. There's a lot of. I had the pleasure of working with you,
Oh, thank you
Ian
very much.
Richter, Bill Undry, the greats. You know, just masters at
Oh,
it.
those boys.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Very.
And to work with them and then get invited to work alongside them was like just
Yeah.
teach me.
Yeah, just watch.
Yeah,
you
because
know.
I knew how by that stage how paint reacts, what reacts to each other, you know, and it's like,
And I think this film, TV, thematic industry is very good because you can work on a large scale
yeah,
and then you can make a mess.
yeah, it was
And then-
inevitable.
And as years go by, you know, you can make a mess, and over the years you learn not to waste so much paint.
Paint,
you know,
yeah,
as you're mixing,
yeah,
so
exactly. You get the opportunity, we used to always sort of laugh, or not laugh about it, but appreciate it. But we're getting paid to try these mediums that we don't have to buy.
exactly.
You know,
Yes.
that's where's the luxury of it.
Yeah.
It's like, and they can buy bucket loads of it.
And at the end of the show, you can. I mean, they kind of offer it to you to take home because they're not going to use it. So you end up with a garage full of paint you never used for 20 years,
Yeah,
right?
and when you open it, it just stinks. It stinks.
So what was your first paint job as a kid? I mean, like, so going back, like, what was it?
well, I used
Paint
to-
your bicycle or anything like that?
As far as artwork goes, I used to do canvases and stuff for people, and they'd give me something, say, well, can you copy that or whatever? I used to be able to do it. It sort of
Okay.
clicked. Yeah, and it's like, so it was mainly canvases, and then I say moved into theatre.
Were you inspired by like any of the greats or contemporary artists?
Yeah, for sure. It's almost crushing because you go into a gallery or something, you're full of inspiration, you walk out going, shit, I can't do that.
That's right, yeah.
But yeah, Da Vinci, Leonardo, so many of them, but one of the ones that really got me is the Australian Impressionists.
You're right.
Because like McGubbins and all those guys, it was just, and not just the Australians, British, like Constable, well, it's just incredible stuff, you know. And they used to make their own paints, mix their own paints, you know, right from scratch. It's like almost crushing because you go into a gallery or something, you're full of inspiration, you walk out going, shit, I can't do that.
That's right, yeah.
But yeah, Da Vinci, Leonardo, so many of them, but one of the ones that really got me is the Australian Impressionists.
You're right.
Because like McGubbins and all those guys, it was just, and not just the Australians, British, like Constable, well, it was just incredible stuff, you know. And they used to make their own paints, mix their own paints, you know, right from scratch. It's like,
And like, how about like Van Gogh? And did any less abstract kind of guys do anything for you?
some of them did, but yeah.
Because I've heard that Van Gogh, or Van Gogh, however you want to pronounce it, he never sold a painting, and I think it's because, I blame it on the architecture, because how can you put one of his pieces in a drab grey Victorian building? It's just like, doesn't work. Until people got more influence from South America and Mexico. And
he was my father's favourite artist, was Van Gogh. We used to have prints of Van Gogh all around the walls.
he was the famous painter and decorator.
He was one of the first impressions, painter and decorator. What do you do? Oh, the Scenic Artist. Fill this category out. Where is it? Oh, it's not there.
Well, so you really didn't do art at school. So did you know what you wanted to do when after you left school? What was your kind of direction?
Surfing.
That's a good one.
But yeah, I was always had that bug for art.
Right.
And I went to art college, but the surf was too good. I'd get the bean league turned around, it's offshore, back down.
Yeah.
But
that's all right, because you can afford to be late when you're ahead of your time. That's good. Okay.
Yeah.
So how did you get into the scenic art industry? You kind of touched on it briefly, but like I've known you for must be 30 years almost.
Yeah.
And you were doing kind of themed interiors. Then when did you do your first film and TV show? I'd get into that side of it.
It would have been back in the...
this is after theatre. Have you ever gone back to theatre? That's what I want to know.
Not really, no, because...
Did you enjoy that? Is that what are the hours? You know, I've never done it.
It depends on the production, what's got to be built, and that's a lot like the film industry in that respect, except you've got a limited space, so you know you can't have locations, so you have to multitask the sets you build. So like you spin them around, it's another set. You know, it's like things like that. Like coordination was a lot I learnt from there, but I had this German artist, Scenic, who was flown over from Germany. I was working at the art centre, and I wanted to impress him. And we're doing a big canvas, a backdrop canvas. I wanted to impress him. So the detail, and getting all the detail in it. And he's let me go for a good day and a half. Come and tap me on the shoulder.
Time, mate.
Come and tap me on the shoulder, come back. Took me about 10 rows back up. He goes, what can you see? What can you see? Oh no.
Can't see that.
We just wasted a day.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And that's where you learn facets of tone.
Oh yeah.
Is what you have to get. And then you can make that bold, the facets, so that from a distance, it's up close, it's not much.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's the big thing I learned.
That's really good to know. Actually.
Yeah, it is. As I was always oriented to detail, so much detail.
Yeah, that's right. Someone asked me how do you quote a mural, and I say, well, the less money you have, the more you can see it from further away.
Well, yeah. With the lights down and your eyes squinted.
That's right.
You like it?
Yeah, that's it. And then the closer you get.
Yeah.
You know? But, and I think it must be, it's a bit more contemporary on form and tones rather than detail, right?
Yeah, for sure it is. Well, that's your basis.
Shadows and...
Yeah.
And do you use, are you a fan of black and white? Because I know there are trained artists that don't believe black and white is a colour, but in our game, I like to use black to see how far I can push something.
That's it, it's tone. It's tone. The old masters, when they used to do in the Renaissance, they always used to do it monochromatically, paint the whole thing monochromatic to get their tones right, and the path, the eye path that follows with tones.
Gotcha.
And then they glaze the colours over, so that's not lost, but you're just adding colours over the top. So that background comes through and it becomes rich. And that was the start of the Renaissance. Later on, others came in, but you're like the Impressionists and that. But that's the thing, you got to get your tones right.
Yeah. Because it's simpler dynamics.
Without light, you don't see anything.
Yeah, right.
So with light, that's when you can see.
Yeah, wonderful, mate. That's good to know. That's fascinating. So, just okay. So you're doing the scenic art, and then you're at a party, and someone asks you, "What do you do?" And you say, "I'm a scenic artist," but people don't understand.
Yeah. Well, the amount of times I walked into shops, you know what people's clothes were like. You go, "Oh, you're a painter, are you?" You go, "No." And I'll have another guess, another, you know, no.
I know.
I'm a scenic artist. What's that?
That's right. Yeah, that's it. So, I mean, but they don't understand and appreciate it. Right?
No.
So that's That's the truth, mate. That's
Isn't
the
it?
truth.
Yeah.
So you give up telling. You just say, I'm not. Well, I'm a kind of I'm an artist for film and television, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh wow.
Yeah. Gee, that sounds glamorous. Yeah, right.
Yeah, look at me, covered in crap.
Yeah. Working your bum off.
That's great. So what films and television shows have you worked on?
Oh gosh.
That you enjoyed? You know, the good ones.
The good ones. Yeah. Well, I was lucky enough to.
Not many good ones, eh?
That's it, mate. Yeah. Straight to video.
You got the premiere.
We're the only ones invited.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
What shows have you worked on?
Right.
A grade, whatever, B grade, doesn't matter. I'm just
the ones I enjoyed the most.
Yeah.
Were actually smaller productions.
Right.
Because there's not that. What would you call it?
Time wasting.
Politely, or just the self-importance of everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah, I understand completely. Yeah.
Technical side, and then your side, and then you're covered in paint. These people. It's like, wearing North Face shirts.
That's right. It's the casual film crew look, right?
So we used to get masking tape and put it in South Bottom, South Crack.
North Face.
Yeah.
Okay, so no names. All right.
Yeah. Well, Ghost Ship was a good one.
Oh, right, Ghost Ship.
The production, Peter Pan, mainly because the crew we had was just awesome.
Okay.
Everyone was very experienced.
Scenic crew?
Yeah, scenic crew. Yeah.
Who were in the team? Who do you remember?
Gosh. Well, you worked on a lot of films.
I had a few of them, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Bill Undry.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Peter Colliers.
Yep.
Ian Richter, the master.
Yeah.
Billy Malcolm.
Okay.
The Godfather. Ray Pedler.
Oh, nice.
Ray, yeah.
The Pope.
The Pope, yeah. Uncle Ray. Uncle Ray, yeah. There's so many names, the Bull Brothers.
Right.
Yeah, the guys with experience, and they just know what to do.
And they happy to pass the baton.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, well.
Some of them.
The show we're doing at the Masses. Yeah.
No, that's great, mate.
Yeah, so I was lucky in that got to work with some of the greats.
That's good. With Buster Weise. He's been kind enough to be our guest today. We appreciate all his talent, skills and graciousness on the job, and it's just wonderful to have you here, mate.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here, especially with someone who understands the industry.
Oh, that's nice.
Anytime. Just that kind of guy, mate.
That's great. Okay, so I wanted to talk about your theme park adventures in China.
Yeah.
So who did you work for?
That's why we'll probably never have a Disney or a Universal Studios here, because we haven't got the population to maintain it.
That's right. And what were you doing?
I first started with Disney in Shanghai. Doing this theme park there. At that time it was the biggest one around.
What were you doing on that?
I was a senior field art director.
Right.
So you go out on the field and you show what to do or whatever, and you get on, you work with them, and get it going. It's a lot of work, but the beauty of it is the people you meet, the locals.
Oh,
It was just brilliant. I love that side of things. But so you go and you help them. When you're creative art director, you've got to provide samples
Right.
what was done, what they call call-outs, you know, the colours you're using, the drawdowns of and method statements of how to do it, right down to the colours, everything. So when the job is finished, maintenance comes in, they've got files that they can go to touch up this, to fix this, or whatever like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So you would drive, so you would you set up the art team, or was that someone else?
No, that was, yeah.
And is that subcontracted to other companies, or do they
There's a lot of vendors, which are subcontractors, yeah.
And their job is to manufacture off-site and install on-site. Is that right?
Yeah, well, a lot of them work on-site, but most of them have got their own factories.
And would you have to go and check on stuff?
Yeah, I used to have to travel all the different cities to the factories, which is a great thing.
Right.
And as I say, the talent that was around over there is just, you feel yourself, well, what am I doing here? These guys are brilliant.
Yeah, you know? That's it. Everyone pays out on China, right?
Yeah.
They think, oh, made in China, blah, blah, blah. That's complete nonsense.
Exactly.
I've worked there myself. I've seen the skill, and I got to say, they can make some great stuff.
Oh,
and they'll be at the top of the heap soon, mate.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be the biggest film industry in the world soon.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, they're building all new studios and whatever you have, and they got the population. You know,
that's right.
That's why we'll probably never have a Disney or a Universal Studios here, because we haven't got the population to maintain it.
That's right. So is that like what do you do, like a 5-day week or a 6-day week on over there?
5-day week, depends. Sometimes you do overtime.
Okay.
But it's 5-day week.
And they look after you? Like they sort your ACOM out, or, you know, like...
Yeah, I get...
You get spoiled?
Yeah, in certain positions you do.
Yeah.
When I was in creative areas, you know, it's business class flights, 5-star hotels. When you travel around the cities, you get 5-star hotels, food, accommodation.
But that's because you know what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And it's a bit of a feather in anyone's cap who's working there, because they interview worldwide.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, it's quite an honour to be selected.
Right.
But then you have to come up with the goods.
Exactly.
Or else,
I'm sure it's pretty stressful sometimes.
Yeah.
Wow.
But God, could be, you know, tiling roofs.
Did you find all the processes like sufficient, or was there areas that could be improved?
There was areas that can be improved, mainly with Disney, because this is the Disney look. This is how we accomplish it, and it seems to be it take a long time. Beautiful product, don't get me wrong, but it's like you got to cover a huge area with whatever. Say just splatters, right? Splatters of paint for whatever it be, some rock or whatever. They're there with a little brush.
I see.
Splattering, and I'm talking, you know, acres of it.
Yeah.
So I was getting the guys to get the nippy rollers, you know,
right.
It's consistent. And so different methods, they're not. Universal was different because I was in a different position, but they let me, what I say goes.
Right.
So it was, this is what we're going to use, it's how you can do it, and like that. And they're so lucky, the guys that so talented. You know, it's like they understood it. They can go, we want to do it this way.
And when you know you've got a great team, it's just like, yes.
Oh, yeah. It's everything. So, you know,
but like I said, you've got to know your stuff. And the only way you're going to get respect is if you've got to prove it to them too.
You do.
You know, like, and once you do, it's like, see, fellas, I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So just listen to what I say.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Help
respect.
each other out.
Yeah, respect.
Yeah.
It's the biggest thing. So many people don't give the respect. You know, it's like, it's imperative.
That's wonderful. Good to know.
Yeah, you respect them, they respect you.
Right.
And have fun. Have fun with them. You know, it's like, get music on, dance. Really.
That's what Ray Pedler said. Got to have fun.
Got to have fun. You do.
Yeah. Terrific.
And it just makes all the difference. When I was in Shanghai, I made sure they had a radio or some music up there, and when we're doing a job, and put it on and do what you want, you know. But this is what you've got
get
to do.
the job done,
Yeah,
whatever it takes.
Exactly, yeah.
No, that's nice. How do you interact with designers? Is the most comfortable?
Well, it's different as, say, between theme parks and film, because theme parks, you're not directly working with the designer. It's like they had the IP, the intellectual property, right? So that has to be followed
By the book.
guidelines, yeah. So they'll come up with a design using that intellectual property, so you can't really change it. Only thing you do change is how to do it.
I see.
So, yeah.
Right.
Film, you're more direct with the art director. Because they tell you what the designer wants.
Yep.
So they're basically, they give the approval through the designer's concepts, you know. It's like, so yeah, that's about the basic difference.
Okay.
And yeah, because with field art direction, there's a lot of field art directors, as you know. So you're basically in a pod, and this is your pod, and this is what you have to deal with. And whatever the designer's done, the art director goes in that pod, and that's what you do.
Right.
And you have to come up with a method or whatever to do it as quickly as possible.
A good thing to do is provide as many options to the designers as possible.
Yeah, if they're open to it.
Ah, I see.
So,
right.
yeah, some aren't, some are stuck in their ways or whatever.
Okay.
But it's good when you do get a designer, like the designer we got on this show. She's very open to, you know, ideas and, yeah, just the creativity that's involved in it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, or some would go, no, I don't want to do it.
And I guess if you know that they can do something,
yeah,
like the respect we were talking about.
yeah, exactly.
It works both
Yeah,
ways.
yeah, well, that's it.
That's good.
And it's good to have a designer that has got some history in paint, because they can design these things, and it's like, well, there's a lot simpler method to do this.
Right.
And it's not going to take as long, and it's not going to cost as much money.
Right. Okay.
But that might be the way they're familiar with and the way they want it done, because they know the result of that certain method.
And that kind of pulls me towards the question. I mean, the fact you've got to know what the lighting is before
Exactly.
Right. That's but in film and television, scenic artists, they don't really get the opportunity.
They don't.
You know,
it's
they
the first people that should be there. The first people who should talk is the designers, the painters, the scenic artists, and the DOP, the director of photography.
Yeah.
What's this set? What's this shot? Where is it? I've done films, especially over in China, elaborate sets, and it's like, well, so much detail in whatever's there, you know, the set design that's there. And I thought, man, we have this deadline and we're not going to get this done in that time. So luckily there was a Spanish DOP, and he really liked me. So I used to go to him and say, listen, what's the lighting on this one?
Right.
So instead of spending 20 hours, he'd go, oh, this shot, Buster, it's a candle on the table. You know? And that's
a good time saver.
Yeah. It's like, that's all right. Well, that's what we focus on.
That's right.
What's your hero shots? You know, what's your scans? What's your fallbacks? It's like your shoot offs. It's like, just
wow.
It should be the first thing. Also, is you know, you could be painting something on these colours, and these colours are beautiful. They put a yellow amber light on it, bang, it's gone. You
Right.
know?
I see. Yeah. That's right.
A light could be strobing anything. You know, it's imperative, and as you say, it doesn't happen.
I remember doing a set just quickly, and it was all gold walls.
Yeah,
and then the director goes and puts a red filter on it.
Right,
so all I saw was shiny grey stuff.
Exactly.
Shiny red and grey stuff.
A lot of people don't realise red on film is black. You know?
Right.
Yellow is white.
Fascinating.
Once again, get back to tones.
I see.
Tones.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's great. That's good.
Yeah,
That's good. Good to know. I want to talk about some of your, like, we'll get back to scenic, but
Yeah.
some favourite techniques, materials, marbling, wood graining, anything else that you like doing?
Thing I love is glazes.
Right.
As I say, like the old masters and that used to do in Renaissance was they paint everything monochrome or whatever, and then glaze the colours over it so the back shines through. And it gives you a richness in it. And the glaze is just a thin, transparent layer of paint.
Gotcha.
So it can be a wash, everyone call them washes, and that's a glaze because you use acrid glaze or whatever. No. It's they're all glazes. So it's just allowing the background to come through and your potent colours on top of it. So that's what I love. It's just so rich.
So that would be for marbles. So,
Yeah,
and for wood grain.
Yeah, anything really.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, because like you can do a wood grain and then you want to darken this area, but you don't want to lose what's there. So you use a transparent glaze over it in this area. You know what I mean?
So I mean, how many styles of wood grain would there be? Because I see newbies coming up and thinking there might be maybe one or two.
Yeah, I was speaking to you earlier. These people come in and I hired them and they put upon themselves to do a masterclass in wood graining. So I followed them and just kept the ear open. Right, this is a 3-step process, do the first step, base coat, then clear slip coat over the top, then the thing, and flog it off, and it's like, okay, so let them finish, and that's all you do with that. Oh, no, what sort of timber's that? Well, it's just wood grain. What sort?
Right.
No idea. This is how you do wood graining. So I said, well, show me a 3-step where you can do a walnut timber. It's like, you can't do it.
I see, I get it. I mean, the problem is like, there's not enough. When I was getting into the game, there was no college degree for scenic art.
No.
No one teaches you this stuff.
No, exactly.
You learn the hard way. Someone's got, and we may have to do this.
Yeah.
Start a college.
Yeah, it'd be wonderful.
Yeah. But it's been a thought for a long time. But, I mean, but that's the problem. There's no one teaches this stuff.
And if they do, it's getting worse and worse. I say, this is how you do this and this is how you do that. It's now, here's your bag of tricks.
Right.
As many tricks in that as you can, which are techniques. It's like, put that in there. Okay, for this one, we'll need a bit of this, and then we'll put a bit of that on it, and then a bit of this. And so, and it's got to be kept alive.
Right. Have you painted like Sykes for shows?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's your process? Generally, from a basic canvas, how do you?
Well, usually draw or project it up. I usually start from a mid-tone, but background to foreground, obviously, and do it pretty well in the same tonal variance. So it's a landscape. It's the same tonal variance throughout. But then with your glazes or your washes, add the atmospheric perspective into it. So then so that sends that back, and then that sends that back. I usually start from a medium tone, and then go light and dark, then highlights and accents in it. It's like the real dark parts.
I see.
And as I say, once again, it's the facets.
Yeah.
It's like your face, there's a facet, and they'll catch light differently.
Right.
It's like, there's a facet.
So there's your shape, your form, and your texture, and your tones.
Yeah.
What I find amazing is it's just the hues of the air in the background. The reflection of whatever's out there coming through. You get those beautiful kind of, it's almost like a phthalo ultramarine, in those kind of landscapes from the turn of the century.
The atmosphere is everything. It's absolutely everything.
That's good. That's fascinating. But it's becoming a bit of a dying art because of the technology, right?
Yeah, that's right. And some of the work they do with computers now, drawing that is amazing. Right. But trouble with that is too, if you've got the drawer for the designer or whatever, if the drawer doesn't know what's involved to get that process done, to get that look, it's like, it's going to be a nightmare.
If you're doing a set piece, like a prison cell or something, right?
Yeah.
You can, before CGI and all that goes in there, you can put your stamp on maybe, or this could look good, because I know it's going to the visual effects team.
Yeah,
maybe
exactly.
we can inspire them and write your bit of the story
Yeah.
for, even if they don't even use it, you know, but
Yeah.
you're offering them something.
Because everyone's got their field, you know, special effects, they're not painters. You
No,
know,
that's
they might
right.
do a bit, or someone, now they have painters on their teams, but everyone's got their field, so utilise it.
Yeah.
You know, okay, let the painters carry this to where they want to go. Then the designer can come in, oh, no, a bit of this, a bit of that.
Yeah, because you're giving them triggers.
Yeah,
You know, so-
that's it.
So what's your favourite style of artwork now? Do you have any favourites?
Not really, I'm pretty generic.
Or are there other artists, like famous artists, non-famous artists, that, or a style?
I don't, because my father was in art, I sort of got exposed to a lot of them.
Right.
It's just take that information in. Yes.
I guess you'd really develop your own style too.
Well, on that point, because having worked with sculptors and having to do sculpting and rock carving and all that sort of thing, I've come up with a method that I've got to start putting down, but using relief sculpt,
Okay.
and I would say using the facets,
Mm-hmm.
basic flank facets, then having them disappearing into flat areas, so that it's like, you know, it goes back and becomes a trompe almost.
Gotcha.
So you can get as much depth as you want with it.
Yeah.
But with that, because it basically we put it in perspective, so it doesn't matter how high or it's going to be in that perspective. So say if you're looking up at something, it'll be like that, and then back to zero on the sculpt.
I see. Yeah.
And that way you don't cast shadows onto unwanted areas, or
that's
further and
interesting.
different.
Yeah.
And with flat areas, because if you get on an angle, it doesn't matter, the sculpt will stand out, the relief.
Yeah.
But that flat area will become flat again because it is flat. But to make that jump,
Yeah.
in your light areas, use metallics. Put your metallics in your colours
I see.
so that they will jump with light as well.
Right.
In the shadow areas and halftone areas, you use flat paint so it absorbs the light.
Gotcha.
So then you get automatically, it starts.
I see. And would you ratio your metallics as you?
Yeah, well,
go
if you
further
tint
back?
your metallics with pigment or whatever, it
With a glaze in the glaze, right?
it does recede.
I see. Yeah. Right.
Otherwise,
Okay.
it's all on a flat plane.
Right, and it would just be the same.
Yeah, it's like using fluorescent paints. If you don't do anything with it, they're all on the same plane.
Yes.
You know, you can do some wonderful things with them, but they're all on that plane. But if you tint them with colour,
Yeah, and dust them.
they recede.
Yeah,
They
right.
recede.
See.
So it's like, yeah, that's the principle of it.
Okay, that's good, mate. That's good. Okay, all right. So you kind of touched on this before. What do you prefer, big budgets or small budgets, and why?
If you're getting paid for a big budget, it's good.
Fair enough,
But
but it can be a drag.
it's friendlier, and there's not so many chiefs.
I see.
You know, the trouble with these days, there's so many art directors on a film. It's like, in my day, it was one art director, that was it.
Right. It's interesting. The art directors can either be artistic, creative, or financial.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
and as long as they know what their angle is,
yeah,
that's okay.
that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Some art directors I've worked for They know that, and they're just financial.
Yeah.
I guess you get to, on a small budget, you get to show your skills, mate.
And it's more intimate too.
Yeah.
It's, you're talking to the designer, you're talking to the art director, whatever, and it's they appreciate what you do.
Right.
You know,
Gotcha.
it's like, it's just with the big films, there's too many chiefs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Fantastic. How has the industry affected your home life? Or has it? Or has it not? Has it been good? Has it been bad?
It's been good. The only thing, the biggest effect was travelling, like overseas and that, and being away from the family. If you couldn't bring them over with you, and sometimes it's a period of, a couple of years or whatever. And I used to be able to fly back now and again. I was fortunate enough to have my daughter come over she came to China, Japan with me, Hong Kong. So that's the beauty of it.
Right.
Yeah. That you miss being home or with the family. Sometimes you're stoked. It's good to be away from them. But it does affect you, but just especially depending on what age your child is, what they're going through at that time. It could be coming into puberty or finishing school or whatever. It's like, oh, shit, this isn't in the manual.
I understand.
Well, you know. Well, you're going through it now.
Well, again.
Yeah.
So how do you find the industry today? Let's talk film and TV. Has it changed much, or is it pretty much
It's changed a lot. With CGI and things like that now, it's like a lot of the talent, I suppose, is gone, and things that accepted that are back in the day, they wouldn't be accepted. It's like, it's changed. And I say the younger generation coming through haven't had the honour of working with some of the greats. It's like,
well, hopefully they'll be greats one day too, but it might take some time. So
there's a lot of young guys coming through, young girls coming through that.
Yes, I've seen that.
Yeah, well, the crew we've got, some very talented.
That's right, and they ask questions, and they're polite.
They absorb.
They're very polite.
Absorb, Then you get some, you go there, like, no, do it like this. No, but if we do it like that, no, do it like this. No, it's like, listen, I've been doing this for a long time. Do it like this.
Right. Yeah.
And then they do learn from it. And I'm not good at it.
I'm trying to save you some time here, but if you're going to learn the hard way, sometimes kids have to learn the hard way.
Oh yeah, and depends if you can destroy a set, it's like, or take them over time. So then you've got set deck coming in. It's like,
that's right.
Yes, hey, this is.
Yes. See, we're not the last. We kind of forget that we're not the last, and the dressers have to get in.
No, it's it, and they've got sort of hierarchy over us because they've got to dress the set.
Right.
Yeah. It's luckily a lot of the crews do get on well together. It's very rare to find one department and the other having we all try to cooperate.
I mean, you really the film and TV game, I've got to say, is very exciting because it's a real little world in itself.
It is, yeah.
You got so many
diverse
categories of industries.
And then you've got the glamour of Hollywood.
That's right. Who get all the credit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's a glamorous job.
That's right.
Need even paint every week.
I was trying to get best supporting labourer years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so fun questions. What's your favourite part of the world?
Gee, I'd have to say, China.
China.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I loved it there. The people were great. The food was great. It's once again, everywhere I've been. South Africa was great. Hong Kong, Shanghai. you have to give respect. You have to, and when I say respect, I mean respect.
Right.
Find them, talk to them, know their family life. You end up getting invited to their place for dinner, but that's the thing that is most important.
That's wonderful, man. That's really nice. That's nice. China, anywhere else? A second?
Yeah. Tokyo is great. Japan, they're all different. Well, you say diversities.
Right.
South Africa, Hong Kong, great. They're all great. Yeah.
That's nice. Okay. Favorite music?
Pretty generic. Pretty well like any music. Not real keen on punk or heavy thrash. But yeah, pretty well.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And favorite food?
Oh, gee. Crab.
Nice.
Seafood. When you can afford it.
Wow, nice. Do you have a favourite drink?
Beer.
Mate, that's all you need. What's your favourite way to relax or pastime?
Used to be surfing until the body fell apart. Just relaxing, really. Music, live venues. Robert Bull, we get to see him a fair bit.
Oh, that's nice.
His band, and they're as good as you get.
He's amazing. Yeah.
So, that's music, nice. I suppose.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and TV.
Yeah, just relaxing, winding down after a hard day. That's good, mate. Doing things like this.
Yeah, top of the list.
Okay, so if you could choose another role within this industry, what do you think it may be?
For film, I haven't done it, would be art direction.
Okay, right.
Yeah, because
I think, did you hear that? I think Buster, you'd make a perfect art director, mate, for film.
I'd enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you understand what the painter's got to do, you understand what the chippies have got to do, and the coordination between the two.
You get to talk to the lighting guy.
Yeah, first up.
That's nice.
Yeah, to be.
Okay, so what about any role anywhere, away, any industry, anything? What would you like to do?
Hugh Hefner.
Hugh Hefner?
No,
That's a classic.
I'm not sure. I'm pretty happy with what's going on.
Oh, that's nice. So you've always been blessed to do what you love. Is that kind of right?
Yeah. I mean, I've done a heap of jobs. I've worked on oil rigs out west and, butchers. And,
They said, don't get him back.
Yeah. One-way ticket. Yeah.
Wow. Just touch on that. What were you doing on the oil rig platform?
We were doing the seismic crew. So we were doing setting all the shots and that to find out where the oil was.
Oh, that's
and
amazing.
I did that for about 2.5
Radar.
years, 3 years.
Is it?
Yeah, no, it's explosives.
Oh, okay.
It's vibrations go down, comes up the screen. Yeah.
Wow. Then did you light the fuse and run away?
I used to be the shooter for a while.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah, the shooter. But it's all, you're using geoflex.
Right.
So it's like a cord. And then you got the detonator at the start, and that cord goes for a certain distance. Right. Then you set off your charge, and it sends little shock waves through, and then they record it. Then you go to the next one and do it.
And what valuable lesson would you take from that industry to the scenic art game? Any lesson?
Work hard.
Work hard. It's nice and simple. That's nice.
Yeah, it was a great opportunity. I saw Australia. I worked in the Simpson Desert National Park for 6 months. Worked at Batuta, Thargomindah, Birdsville, all in the desert. And it's just an amazing country we've got here.
Yeah.
It's so diverse. You've got to go and see it. If you ever get the chance, go to the Simpson Desert.
Right.
make sure you got water and everything and communications, but it's just amazing.
That's really interesting.
It is.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
That's great.
The light and that is just, it's mind blowing. We were there one time, probably there for about 6 months or whatever, and then had rain. And I'm talking sand dunes and spinifex. That's it. We had rain. We got flown home. Came back a week or so later. The whole thing was covered in wildflowers. A carpet of wildflowers. I mean, where did they come from?
So incredible.
It was just amazing.
What colour was it?
All colours, and it was.
That's inspiring. Mate.
It was unreal. It's a metamorphosis. You know, it's like how?
Exactly. Yeah, that's a miracle. Almost, you know.
Mudfish that have been stagnant for maybe years. Sometimes it rains. It's just incredible.
That's fascinating. Would you recommend becoming a scenic artist to other people?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Right. So just be open to learning, and as I say, beats the hell out of roof tiling or laying concrete, you know.
Right. Yep.
And it's creative, and you meet some amazing people.
Right.
And it's I'd recommend it, but it's going to take time. I was offered a job from Tape College one time to set up a course for scenic art, and but it was like a 6 weeks course or something. I said I can show them so much in 6 weeks or whatever, but they were expecting they get a type of certificate after that, and they can go to movie world or whatever, you know, and get a job as a scenic artist. Nah.
I see on some platforms where people may have worked on one film or one theme park, and they call themselves scenic artists, which is completely untrue.
Oh, completely.
I mean, good for them, you know, but...
It's all titles these days, and it's like, that annoys the hell out of me, you know. You might have rolled a wall or something, and I've done interviews for people. They come in and go, and show me their portfolio. Oh, that's interesting. It's interesting. I did that one. I don't remember seeing you on it. It's like,
that's incredible.
Well, my friend did this one.
So be careful, anybody out there watching this. I mean, be honest. But you got to be honest. So you would recommend it. That's really nice.
Yeah, I would.
Do you think the role will be obsolete in the future?
With CGI and AI, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
The only part that won't be basically is someone creating the design, and the fact is the rest will be done on computers.
That's unfortunate, isn't it?
It is, and to the point of soon they're not going to need actors because they can just clone them.
Yeah, well, that's that's
there's some weird shit.
And I think it's the youth or the society's becoming used to seeing fabricated stuff.
Yeah.
You know, falsely fabricated stuff. I mean, it's a big topic. We won't get into it too much.
No.
But that's fascinating. You think that? I think that's great. So what does the future hold for you?
I'm not sure.
Right.
A day at a time. I'd like to, if I retire or when I retire, get these paintings going. I've got a lot of designs done, laid out. I'd like to, before I go, like before I die, is at least get a few of these out there and show the public, just because having been an artist or so-called artist and a scenic artist all these years and that, the amount of techniques that I've learnt from sculptors, from mould makers, from, you know, everyone is just, this is the thing that will set my art apart from what's going around so much, and it's something I really want to do. I'd like to see it myself, you know. I've got all
I
the
think you
theories.
feel there's a belief that it would trigger and inspire other people.
People, yeah, and open it up. Because I've had brilliant sculptors or whatever coming up to me. You know, we're working with one at the moment, and going, you can't incorporate mural with three-dimensional. He says it just doesn't work. But that's where I came up with a way to get
Yeah, right. I see.
yeah, and it's like,
I'd be interested to look at that.
yeah, because the biggest trick is obviously with your scope, you can't cast a shadow onto something that's 200, supposedly, like in the distance. So yeah, I've come up with a system where you go back.
So
to
how
zero.
proud off the canvas would you come?
Not
Do you find
don't have to be that proud, and as you recede, it gets less, obviously.
Say 100 mil, or you'd imagine? Does it depend on the size of the canvas?
The size of the canvas, I suppose, and what's included.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very experimental.
That's what it is. It's what it is, and it's discovery. You know,
exactly.
Passion and discovery.
Yeah, and I've come up with it. It's where it's all in perspective. So it's like,
I mean, and what you can create is perhaps 300 years ago, the person creating that piece wasn't sure what it would trigger, but man, it didn't trigger a couple of hundred years later. You know, so you never know.
Yeah, exactly. And just the self-satisfaction of it too.
That's it, isn't it? Right.
Yeah.
I just quickly, I mean, I've seen like the masters and some masters, not all of them, but what fascinates me is not so much the painting, but what were they doing in front of it when they were painting it? What were they drinking? A cup of coffee? Where were they?
Yeah.
And that's a fascinating life of the person of the artist. You know?
Yeah, much. Yeah, it's not an easy industry to get into.
Right.
It's like, it's. Some people are lucky; they pick up a client or something, whatever.
Have a good agent.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So we're back with Buster. So, what would be the best advice you could give to an up-and-coming scenic artist or art director?
Scenic artist, learn to know what the scenic artist needs next before asking for it. If you learn that, you know what it's for and why it's there.
Okay.
So, he's going to need this one there because this is this technique he's using. You get that, and then you can implement that yourself.
Gotcha.
If you're all just, what you need now, you're not getting anywhere. You know, you've got to look at what he's getting and think yourself, why that now? You know, and get that, then you can do it.
So learn the practicality of the art.
Right, yeah. The procedures he's using or whatever, and why he's using it, and the mixes, the viscosities of everything. You know, it's like all that information. That's your basis.
Gotcha.
You have to know that you can't, so let's wood grain this or let's marble this, and you do that, and then you do it again, and it's the same, and do it again, and it's the same. It's like the bag of tricks.
That's good. Good to know. So I'm just going to reel off some names, and if you could maybe briefly describe these people in, say, one word or a few words.
Yeah.
This is the fun part. So let me go through this. Okay. So let's Ian Richter.
He's brilliant. A character. He's brilliant. A character. That's absolute. Unexplainable. The late Ian Richter, amazing artist, amazing. Yes, I had the pleasure and honour of working with him, and what you learn, even with his tantrums and everything, is like, Yeah,
That's
he was
really
a true
nice.
artist. He was with the Australian Ballet.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Not painting for them,
No.
dancing for them.
Dancing. Yeah, that's right.
Classic.
Yeah.
Okay, Billy Malcolm.
Oh, brilliant. He's the godfather.
Okay.
Basically the first one just before Ray.
Mm,
I mean,
that's nice.
just
Ray Pedler.
yeah. Well, he was same. He was a mentor.
That's nice.
You know, it's like, and still got the pleasure of working with him.
Oh, that's
And-
nice, mate. That's nice.
Yeah, it's just great.
Chris Goddard.
Yeah, same. God bless him. Passed.
Mm.
True friend. Once again, a great artist,
Right.
and just so encouraging he was. I went through a difficult time at one stage there, and he came and stayed with me and helped me and all that, and it was just
Oh,
like,
that's nice. That's nice.
it's his side. He's
Mike Johnson.
yeah, worked with Michael. Yeah,
He's been out for a while.
he has. I think he's health's not real wonderful at the moment.
Okay, right.
But
Okay.
he was very good at what he did, sculpt and paint. His sign writing was amazing.
Mm. Oh, wasn't he good?
Yeah, he's
terrific.
He was a great guy. He was a great footballer in his day. Played A grade for Eastern Suburbs. Yeah,
Wow, that's it.
with the Ron Coots.
He
And all
was
that.
so strong. He could pick up a 20 with one arm.
Yeah.
Like that, I remember.
Well, he was in the SAS.
Right.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to pick him.
Well, no, no, not at all. Yeah.
Okay. Robbie Bull.
Great.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
just great. Yeah, I've known Robbie, Louie, and Tina. I forgot to mention earlier. I said the Bull brothers. There's
Right.
Tina as well, who's our head scenic at the moment. They're just complete in
Yeah.
what they know, who they know that knows what, and when to implement those people,
Right.
and when to do it themselves. I mean, if you want something done on a big scale quickly, you go and ask them.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like, what have you got in mind of how to do this?
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, and I've been lucky enough to, with them all, that they appreciate me, you know. The
That's
same
nice.
thing, respect.
Ian Merchant.
Great guy, brilliant sign writer, and his art's getting there too. Lovely bloke,
Yeah, that's right.
and very talented.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right, Buster, it's been fantastic. It's been wonderful having you here.
Would be.
But it's been a real pleasure.
No, thank you.
I wish you all the best for the future.
Yeah, thanks.
And we all look forward to seeing your work around for many years to come. Thank you very much for your time, mate.
See you at work tomorrow.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
We look forward to the next episode. We'll have another special guest.